thoughts? Well, boys, I'd love to spend a penny for your thoughts today as I kind of pick your brains on some hot takes. We're going to play Memory Gauge the Room. One day I'll actually make the theme song. I thought about that the other day, but it's memory. There's a parentheses around the M. Damn, I'm sick. Hey, speaking of Segway, this time we want Segway fan art, not hoverboards. Marcio's hoverboard joke was funnier than the Segway joke. But he doesn't have another funny hoverboard joke. So now we can finally get to.
I have a scooter.
You have a scooter? You want to do a scooter joke?
It'll be
scooter, I hardly know her.
It'll be like me doing like a 360 on it.
And it's just taking your ankles out.
That was animal. No, fuck. What is the kid's? No, he doesn't say animalistic. He says.
What are you talking about?
No, the kid that was like.
Bro is having a Zuma moment. I have no idea what he's talking
about. This Calypso is minging.
No, that was legitness.
That was legitness. Yeah, that's a banger. Yeah. Wow, you pulled that one out of nowhere, huh? Yeah. Anyway, Memory Gauge the Room.
That's what 11 hours of being live will do to you.
Hello, viewing audience. Whether you're seeing this live here on twitch.tv/KnTElixar, if you're live and you're not there, you can go there really quick. Nobody will notice. And if you aren't live on KnTElixar's Twitch channel, you can go over to the YouTube VOD that you clicked on. I said go over. You're probably watching it on YouTube. If you're watching on YouTube, just play along in the comments, and we'll catch you live next time. Memory Gauge the Room is a game show where these three folks are going to be read a statement about the Digimon TCG. They're going to be given 60 seconds to respond in turn. And I just remembered my web app isn't working yet, so I'm going to have to make sure the straw picker is live. Give me one sec. Cool. One of these folks will be instructed to give their not honest opinion about the statement I issue them, and the other two will be telling the truth. And it is your job, live viewing audience, to work out who it is that's capping instead of yapping. Do you fellas all understand how this game works?
God, yes.
So I'm told.
I think this is an extra special one because if you guys are seeing this here on YouTube, Andrew and Marcio have just finished a now 11-hour streak of being here live on the internet, thinking and talking about the Digimon card game. So I expect the takes to be somewhat lucid and the 60-second timer to be kind of in force. But if you all are ready to go, I'm going to go ahead and remember to check your DMs, not our podcast chat, for your instructions. And I will be sending you all your instructions with whether or not you will be telling the truth or a fib. Those are going out to you now. Shout outs.
We're supposed to read it out live. Yeah.
Do not say this live or I'll have to start all over.
Are you sure that you don't want me to read the words?
Yeah, I'm positive. I'm positive. And regardless if it has 3 or 4 letters, I want you to shut up about it.
Yeah.
Alrighty, gentlemen. The statement we'll be starting today with Memory Gauge the Room is actually wait. Just make sure my timer is synced up as well. Oh wait, you've got the timer ready, right?
Yeah, if you're playing live as well, you can bet channel points on these. After all of us have said our takes, I'll set the prediction timer so we can all flame each other for maybe answering the question at all. Shout out to the people that have watched episode 2, Orange. I still need to go clip Orange because. Yeah, the greatest player of all time just simply never answered the question.
Yeah, no pressure, Terry, but you are the next contestant after Jamie Conquest's masterclass.
Harry was on.
Harry.
Yeah, I ended up not merging the videos.
Yeah, my life is long. Anyway, the statement you guys will be responding to for round 1 of Mem Gauge the Room is Bandai makes reprints such as OTP e-packs, reprint sets, or event pack distributions sufficiently acceptable. One more time, the question is, Bandai makes reprints, such as OTP e-packs, reprint sets, or event pack distributions, sufficiently accessible. Give these guys a minute to talk this over in their heads, think about how they're going to do it, because one of them might not be telling the truth. Hopefully one of them remembers not to tell the truth, because that's the point of the game show. And for you all at home, I'm sure everybody's got thoughts about like, it's frustrating because so-and-so pulled the art I wanted was a winner only, or the thing I wanted was not in the reprint set and all this stuff. So I think it's going to be a good one. Andrew, are you ready to get started? Because we pretty much just assume you're going first these days.
Yeah, sure.
Alrighty.
Yeah.
Okay, so Andrew, for this episode of, or this part of Memory Gauge the Room, the statement you'll be responding to is Bandai makes reprints, such as OTP packs, reprint sets, or event pack distributions sufficiently acceptable. Your time starts in 3, 2, 1, go.
No. They fumble this harder than they fumble promos in general. The OTPE packs are great for the first 3 weeks, but then after I pull my 9th consecutive Digimon, I'm throwing a brick through a window. We're all tired of security rookies, but that is also because we just got them late. But just generally also their reprint sets are quite literally 0 for 2. Ghost Game has not had a positive impact on the card game since it was introduced, outside of maybe BTA, where it just introduced nothing of value. So that's when they got away with it. The LM packs in English are terrible because of how they're distributed. RBO1 was a disaster and made even worse so by the fact that one of the cards that in the best deck arguably of the format requires you to have opened a notably bad pack, and they should just really just start from scratch again. Japan got it nice though.
It did it nice though. That's your time, but of course the game goes in threes. And Marcio, the statement you're going to respond to is Bandai makes reprints, OTPE packs, reprint sets, or event pack distributions, and the like sufficiently acceptable. You ready to go?
Yeah.
All right, your time starts in 3, 2, 1, go.
I think the packs are sufficiently available for the most part. I think it's really hard to decide what needs to be reprinted because a lot of the times it's random, like, you know, breakout cards that, you know, either get reprinted to get an altar a little bit later, things that normally don't get an altar or a pre-release set. A pre-release stamp set early on, and then they use those kind of tournament pack cards to do it a little bit later on. Sometimes they just use it for, you know, popular archetypes for the case of the event pack stuff. And, you know, the reprint sets, it's hard to tell. We've only really had one, and it's Digimon for a game that's a few years old. I haven't had too much trouble, you know, trying to pick up some old cards. Generally, things are mostly accessible, but when it's like some new staples, then those tend to need some more immediate reprints, which is what I think we're not getting. Instead, we're getting random ass cards with slightly better art.
That's your time. That was Marcio's take on the statement. Bandai makes reprints such as OTPE packs, reprint sets, event pack distributions, and the like sufficiently accessible. Terry, last but not least, are you ready to assess that statement yourself?
Yes, I'll give it a shot.
All right, buddy. Your time starts in 3, 2, 1, go.
Right, so starting off, since I'm from mostly like a Yu-Gi-Oh background where cards are just randomly expensive, get reprinted, like, have you all seen the Trident Dragion, you know, like, little meme of like, make sure your friend has it? That doesn't really happen in Digimon. As you all may know or may not know, I think all Digimon cards are worthless, and part of that is because they tend to reprint a lot of things. Do you know how many memory boosts I got now from RBO1, from random pulls? So many. You look at the structure decks that are going to be coming out, more memory, more training reprints, everything's coming out. I think they're doing a very decent job at, you know, at least providing some of the staple cards at sooner packs. Does it suck that we got the security rookies and then the security rookies again? Sure, but it makes sure that even though like they flooded the market with it, it means that everyone has access to them, which is a very useful thing. So yeah, I think they've done a pretty decent job so far. Like in terms of like event packs and stuff as well, it does bring out really cool reprints that even if they are a little bit worthless, make sure there's a lot on the market.
That's your time. All right, fellas, and to the live chat, good job on your 60-second timers, boys. It's a tough one to crack, but chat, the prediction is live over on twitch.tv/KnTElixar, where you're currently checking out the show. Go ahead and vote on which one of these three folks is lying to you about their take on the statement, Bandai makes reprints like OTPE packs, reprint sets, or event pack distributions sufficiently acceptable. A lot of stuff in there, a lot of meat on those bones that these guys dug up. Some people are sick of the distribution cycle, 3 weeks for an OTPE pack. Oh, it's annoying because they didn't ever contribute something positively to a set. Bandai is new enough, Digimon's new enough. It's too hard to get old things. It's not the worst thing that they are or aren't reprinting them. And perhaps the nuclear option. None of them are worth anything anyway. Who gives a shit? But I want to know what you guys are thinking here, because it is a hot topic in Digimon recently. I'll give my 2 cents because it's always about me at the end of the day. I think that they have been doing pretty shit reprinting stuff when they know things are getting necessary to reprint. But it's not so much about the staples that we didn't have enough of. It's the cards that were made intentionally difficult to get in the first place, tied to a time distribution method. I'm talking about box toppers, mostly Veemons and trainings and stuff like that. But like, you know, you go far enough down the line and eventually winners pack Psychmon's going to get expensive, things like that. So they don't do an enough job with the distribution. But yeah, let's see how we're going to do it. How are we on the predictions? People are going through nice and quick. Thanks all for getting your points in. I've got 2 more tonight because we're making this one a little bit brisk. Called the podcast later, like the episode we done sped run.
Yeah, we normally would record bonus content after this, and we're probably on time to be able to record bonus content. But I'm cooked. I'm not gonna hold you. I'm cooked. I can see Marcio drifting out of this astral plane every so often.
Yeah, that's Marcio in general.
He's in sleep mode.
I could instigate and be like, you know what, guys? I think Terry's actually yapping, and be like, you know, I think Terry thinks that Digimon isn't worthless. And
Evil Terry be like.
The game.
My binder is valuable.
Yeah, Evil Terry be like, got any trades?
All right,
He's a vendor.
Andrew, what are the people telling us?
The people are telling us that at 0% of the vote, this guy, and majority vote is this guy. They think with 69%, nice. The total percent of the vote, Marcio is the capologist. And then 31% think that it is Terry as well, which actually had the most people voting, even if the least amount of channel points went behind it.
Marcio,
that's crazy.
Were you drinking on that cappuccino, dude?
Let me just double check really quick.
So important. It's so important, buddy.
No, my straw said true, and I spoke the truth. I generally don't care that much about reprints because, like, I've been playing the game since the beginning. So for me personally, it's like, you know, I've had access to most of the stuff that I wanted to play, and I usually play mid-rarity anyway. Unless I'm doing a funny side quest of like mid-rarity.
Pre-release tamers.
Or Justimon, where the alts are less than a bottle of Coke.
Exactly. Like, I only really go for like shiny stuff. It's like super accessible, really cheap, or if I can get a funny rarity for the card.
Or
My
bugs.
favorite thing, or bugs, but that's an exception. By the way, I have a Crest Mega Kabu from Emily. So
when did that materialize?
It was
yesterday.
a work in progress.
Yeah, but I have a Crest Mega Kabu. Anyway, if a tamer has a pre-release stamp, I like it way more than an altar. I've been wanting to get pre-release stamped Takuyas for a while now because it's just like so funny. People are like, oh yeah, my Marcuses, my Ties, my Marcus Damons. No, I want pre-release Sora.
That's hard.
All right.
But of course, Marcio's strange taste in Digimon does not mean he played the game wrong. It means that a different member of the show here won an episode or won a round of Mem Gauge the Room. Congratulations, Terry. You done lied to the people.
Wow.
Well, to be fair, my take of Digimon is worthless is still always my true take, but in terms of reprint, it is actually awful. Like, as a man who bought RBO1, 2 boxes of RBO1, it was not good.
It was such a good lie. You were like, yeah, I bought RBO1. I got so much stuff that I wanted, for sure.
No, it's sort of like the weirdest thing for me, which is... they reprint a lot of they don't technically they like print a lot of stuff, but it's not great. It's because since Brad and I started playing from basically BT1 and we have a collection, I actually get staggered by how much certain things are that just shouldn't be. Like, for example, the Pulse ones that I had 4 of at the start prior to them getting like a eventual reprint were still like 10 plus pounds. I'm like, I just couldn't fathom that, especially when it was such a really good staple. I thought Digimon did a good job for like core sets. But
that's the classic.
I'm getting called on the chat and I don't like it.
Well, Emily has expensive tastes, and sometimes that is out of Marcio's control.
I think one of the funniest, more recent examples was the BT11 Mamimon had a period where the card was like $3 to $4 earlier this year, and then it just got its like reprint and then just like shut down again.
Shit is wild. I mean, BT11 is a set we've already talked about on the show about like how whack that is to get singles for these days.
Yeah.
But goddamn. All right, fellas, moving swiftly along to round two.
Very quickly.
Sorry, quick one. No. Look at this. Marcio is wrong. Look at how shiny these are. These are just better. Look at it. Beautiful cardboard. He's blaming Emily for his poor taste.
You're so right.
I generally don't care. Like, for me, it's like when people go, oh yeah, my deck is maxed out. And it's like, that's crazy. This match slip is maxed out. I'm going to hang out with my friends now. It's like, I couldn't give a damn if your deck is maxed out.
My guy, it's called investing in your future in nice, shiny cardboard. Shiny, worthless cardboard.
I need to be playing the decks that I want to play, and money on old decks, you know, it's, do I look like a Galamon player? I have better things to do than
it's always us. It's always us.
Like, Ultima Cup Growlmons. That's sick, bro.
You know what?
You know what I want?
This is spoken like a guy that only has 2 Tentamons in the game.
There's like 4.
Yeah, they'll suck.
Yeah, this is speaking like a guy that doesn't get support. It's like, yeah, I only max out this one archetype that Bandai remembered was in the game last set. It's crazy.
Yo!
The least I deserve is shiny card. That's real as hell. But of course, that's the risk reward of dating an artist. And speaking of risk reward, the next statement here on Memgage Throom is as follows. The risk reward ratio on ace cards is appropriately balanced. So the statement once again is the risk reward ratio on ace cards is appropriately balanced. I'm going to be sending you folks your instructions.
I'm going to have fun with this one regardless of what you send me.
Your instructions are going over now. Just 1 minute, boys. I have to find all your names in my DMs because I'm such a popular guy and I get messages from people on the internet.
Who is DMing you during the podcast?
We should literally be at the top. You sent us things again.
I don't know what you're talking about. Listen, you guys have your instructions. Start thinking. Less yapping, more getting the gears going.
Yeah, you nailed that one.
Yeah, there's nothing that rhymes with the yap that sounds like think. Anyway, one more time, the statement that these 3 folks are going to be responding on is the risk-reward ratio on ace cards is appropriately balanced. I'm sure you've all got this guy at locals. Somebody will tell you ace cards are not their thing. You think they were a mistake, whatever. That's not about if they like ace cards or not. This statement is about if it's balanced on the risk reward. Memgage is all about specific statements to catch people, maybe or maybe not catch them in a lie. If you're Jamie Conquest, nobody can catch you, even if you're just telling people you're lying. So yeah, that's how it goes.
You should watch that episode. It is the episode of all time. Go validate me in the comments and go see the travesty that was Orange.
I did watch that again recently. You did not answer that question.
I answered most of it. Like, I missed the every color bit, but you know what? I answered more of the question than Jamie did.
That's true. Jamie just didn't answer it at all. But I think you've had enough time to think now that I baited you into talking about something. Andrew, let's get started. Yep. The statement you'll be responding to is the risk-reward ratio on ace cards is appropriately balanced. And your time starts in 3, 2, 1, go.
So I know a guy that's really well known for blue unsuspend decks. And he once told me the Overflow isn't real. It's actually a made-up Ponzi scheme invented by the government. It's up there with public transportation owned by Europeans, even though we live in England. Did you know it's more expensive to take a train to some parts of England than it is to fly? But if you hop the train fare and just never actually have to deal with Overflow, it's like you get to slam a 5 for 4. That used to be, I slammed my level 5 because I bricked. Now it's a game plan. SetCon has made a massive resurgence because they have they can play 8 level 5s that must be answered, or they turn into Shadow Seraphi and you lose the game. Yes, it makes Zudomon kind of the best ace, and it will always be the best ace, but they are very appropriate because Overflow is fake cost.
Thank you, Andrew. That was Andrew's response to the statement, the risk-reward ratio on ace cards is appropriately balanced. And the game goes in 3s. Marcio, are you ready to get moving?
I'm ready.
Your timer starts in 3, 2, 1, go.
I think Overflow generally, I think it's like pretty balanced. It depends where the level of the card is. So for example, Zudo Ace tends to be a card that tends to fight very well against like the other aces. but it's generally a card that is also like, it's not going to stick around for a long time. But things like the Mega Gargomon as like a level 6 boss monster, it means that like it rewards the opponent for removing it. So it sort of creates this like idea of like, yes, I have this powerful ace, but you get rewarded for removing it, which is something that we didn't really have before. It was just kind of like you removing an opponent's card was just what you were trying to do. There wasn't really much risk to it. Now, I think Ace is adding another form of, interaction, or the layer of interaction, makes it so that the opponent has to like respect your aces, and it means that in some decks, normally you don't have access to, or rather, in some decks you get to play aces that are not typical.
That's your time.
Yeah, I forgot the time. It might be.
Good effort. Good effort. You had the roadblock of not having the visual aid there, but that's a-okay, because that was Marcio assessing the statement. The risk-reward ratio on ace cards is appropriately balanced. Terry, last but not least, let's get you to it, King. Your time starts in 3, 2, 1, go.
So I do think the sort of risk reward for aces are relatively balanced, at least currently, because like you can hard slam a Zudo ace for 4 or any of the level 5 aces. But typically, as the game goes on, they're gonna get removed. So I personally have this greatest hatred of ace and play ace cards in my deck because I just assume that I'm immediately gonna get punished by it for whatever reason. Hard slam Andromon, my opponent's on Mirage. Hard slam a Zudo ace. I guess I got free memory. They got a card back to your hand. I think currently it's still like fine because like the Digivolution on your opponent's turn sometimes is insane, sometimes in game winning, but it maybe gets you one step higher, but I don't think that's that bad. Come BT16 and onwards, when we're getting level 6 aces, that's what I'm like, ace into ace, that's just not going to be good. I don't care how much you're overflowing, you are that much further ahead.
Thank you very much, Terry. Great job. And for you, the audience, your part of the game starts here, because one of these guys was not being honest with you. They might have said that the risk-reward ratio was suitably balanced and not meant it. And that is an unforgivable sin that only you can suss out using your channel points. I think, as an interesting point, that without mentioning it we had a question the other week about, like, I know what the best deck of the format will be. And I always think that one's fun because it does sort of show up that sometimes people just sort of like, oh my God, I don't know what to say. And that is a real tough part of this game. These guys are put on the spot for 60 seconds and have to come up with something. It's wild that all of them just were talking, like, only, I think Terry mentioned Blast Evoing, and then everything else was just about Overflow. Overflow is the risk reward. So whether or not there are other parts of the ace cards and what makes them appropriately balanced, that's the interesting thing to discuss. So
my one's always interesting because I'm always like, I get to go first, I get to come up with my point, and then I realize stuff whilst I'm listening, like 30 seconds into Marcio's, I go, oh, I forgot about this. And sometimes it's not just because he said it. Sometimes it's just like oh yeah, I didn't mention that. And then I noticed he didn't mention it. And then like Terry kind of mentioned it at the end. I was like, I'm good. And
there it goes. And we're getting aces that aren't just Blast Evolve soon. We're getting Blast DNA. If you haven't had a chance to play with Blast DNA, holy moly.
I forgot that existed.
Yeah, Omnimon BT17 is the gatekeeper deck, man. That Blast DNA pile is ridiculous. So, very funny. Interesting mechanic.
Ludomon, the best card in every Blast DNA deck.
Yeah, straight up. But yeah, very interesting discussion. I think aces are tight, and that's not just because I like Davis. I probably would have played it either way, to be honest with you. So.
It is crazy that we didn't see Davis. I can't wait for next week's episode where we get to see how many Davis are in attendance, because me and Marcio were saying that every single round. It's like, how are we seeing Tamer decks and we just have no Davis?
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. But that's our time.
You realize Germans are about being efficient, and Davis is...
I don't know how it goes to time. I don't understand it. I've played that deck pretty much continuously for 4 months now. I have no idea how people are drawing in Davis. Just swing the 5s. What are you doing? Anyway, Andrew, we got the numbers, I think. What are the people saying?
Well, did you know that this is one where 3 different people have been nominated? We'll go from the bottom. Marcio, just a single % bet on you.
1%.
Just 1%. The 1% think it's you lying. 3% think it's Terry. And then everyone else thinks that I would lie to you about Overflow being a Ponzi scheme.
Were they right, Andrew?
No, dead ass. Overflow is a Ponzi scheme.
That's the laugh of a liar. Why do you talk to him, K-Beads?
Oh, that's actually crazy. I had to hold myself back, and I was like, Andrew, this fucking idiot, he's just like spilling my goo. He's, people are gonna immediately know that it was me. And it's like, wait, what? Have you guys like heard me talk? Overflow doesn't matter if you win the game. What?
It's a Ponzi scheme. You take the cost and you give it to your opponent.
If my guy dies, I overflow. What if your guy doesn't die and you win the game? What if your opponent just forgets and you Azulong ace them? And then what?
Spoken like a man who's playing an ignorant deck in BT16.
Of course! Of course! So shout out to the 1%, you person that voted on me, you were right. But Overflow doesn't matter. You know what's the best way to play Bloom right now? You play like 3 Lily Ace because it's just the best level 5 that you can hold.
Because it doesn't matter with Bloom. Everything you do is for cheap. You just constantly borrow from the bank. You never give it back.
I'm playing Mirage right now. You know what I do all the time? I just drop Zudos. What are they going to do? Zudo me back? Fine. If you evo your Zudo, you get cooked. I don't. I'm not evoing on that Zudo like ever. So I just win every Zudo war.
What you just said is, if I can see this memory gauge right here, if I simply kidding, my deck can just ignore that completely.
Yes,
that doesn't matter.
Exactly. Oh, you want me to give you another example?
Sure, man. As long as it doesn't involve you spilling goo, then I'm all for it.
Earlier today on stream, we saw Yellow Vaccine just out level whatevers just by double dropping aces.
Yeah.
He was also playing against KnTElixar. He was also playing against Digimon, my guy.
His opponent's problem. Don't bring Digimon to an event.
If that guy actually had KnTElixar, he was gone. Digivolve your guy, overflow fucking 6, and you're cooked.
Yeah, but he could never overflow.
Why would you ever play on board against Yellow Vaccine? They'll just go, okay, turn 1, I'll go Magna Angemon. Turn 2, I'll go Seraphi. And you just remove 2 bodies, and you're chilling.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Do you want me to give you examples? Garuda has kind of stinkers.
Hey, what about Myotis? That's like an ace deck, right? I heard from a caster before that it sees some play in a Beelzemon.
It did get some, there was a Beelzemon list that was playing Myotis, which I think is a cool tech.
Sure.
That is all he will ever be.
Yeah, purple is kind of, ace.
They cheat enough memory from their bullshit anyway. They don't need an ace.
But Mega Gargomon, I'm playing terriermon, and I just accepted that, sure, my Mega Gargo overflows for 4. It doesn't matter if I win the game. You know what's really cool?
It's because your ace is a double attacker that also goes, you don't do anything with your cards, my guy.
There's actually, if you play the good this question, you have to think about if you play the good aces. This only applies to the good aces. Have you read Agumon Bond of Bravery ace and Gabu ace?
Yeah, Agumon ace is crazy good.
It's insane.
It's amazing.
All of the level 7 aces from BT17, Shine, Paladin.
Yeah, Paladin mode is a singularly broken card. It's one of the best cards in the whole game.
Overflowing doesn't matter if you win the game, which means that they are not fair and balanced. They just gave you little stinkers to make you think that they were fair and balanced with the Garurumon and the Wargreymon. But even the Garurumon is probably one of the best Melgas we have. It's a free level 6.
Oh boy. But that is round 2.
I'm so good at lying.
That's round 2 of Memgage the Room. And gang, nobody does it like K-Beads. Let me tell you though, the game works in 3s, just like our third player. We're going for a 3rd round tonight. And I catered this one specifically to the day. I thought this might make a fun thing to talk about when maybe we do a little retrospective on the event. Andrew's and Marcia's first time casting Digimon. And let me tell you boys, they spectated a lot of Digimon today. And I think as a group, we might be all uniquely positioned to assess the statement. Decks that are exciting for spectators are less exciting for players, and vice versa. One more time. The statement is, decks that are exciting for players are less exciting for spectators, and vice versa. So I'm going to break it out. If it's a fun deck for a spectator, it's not fun to play. If it's fun to play, it's not fun to spectate. That's the statement.
Play.
Decks that are exciting for spectators are less exciting for players, and vice versa.
Does this apply to the opponent or the actual player?
Hey guy, you've played Memgage before. I'm going to read you the statement again.
Can you use the word players in a sentence, please?
Yeah, I'd love to. Decks that are exciting for spectators are less exciting for players, and vice versa.
All right. Send me my 3 to 4. So earlier when you said 3 or 4, I was thinking true or false. So when you said 3, I was flabbergasted. That should have been the biggest giveaway. I wasn't lying because I was just like, the fuck? How do you spell false with 3 letters?
You're crazy, man. And it's not just because you've juiced your brain by talking and playing Digimon for 12 hours. It's because English eludes you.
Yeah, I was cooked.
Gentlemen, if you'll please direct your attention to our DMs and not the pod chat, you'll have your instructions. One more time for our audience, or for editing Andrew to stick in front of this clip, because I can already smell a rat on the ship. The statement that these fine folks will be responding to is: decks that are exciting for spectators are less exciting for players, and vice versa. Andrew, actually, let's mix it up. Hey, Terry, let's have you go first, big dog.
Okay.
All right. Your time starts in 3, 2, 1, go.
I mean, I don't think that statement is necessarily true because, like, for example, I despise Beelzemon with a burning passion, but watching it today was pretty hype, watching a man summon all the luck in the entire room to his very deck. Like, even weirdly, like, I enjoyed watching the SetCon game against Mirage. It's probably, like, because it's actually was watching paint dry, but you know what? Sometimes you just nice and ease in and relax. I think it's a really big issue with this game where, like, watching I think, like, for decks that are really good to watch, like, I don't know, like, I love playing Tsukiyamon. Watching me go unsuspend, do this, play 3 options, go really is, like, really fun to me. But for maybe outside people, a little bit interesting. For my opponent, who is also spectating me, it's not really great to be, you know, comboed on, and I don't really think it's a really good statement to make.
And that's your time. Ooh, he put a bow on that one. Perfect. Way to go. It's tough going first in this game, so appreciate it.
I was not ready to go first.
I hit you with that full screen mix up on that one, big dog. And then I love mixing it up again. So Andrew, it's your turn.
Yeah, it was good because I went to go see if I could fix the chat. It's not back, so
chat is cooked, but maybe they can still hear us, and that's half.
Oh no, your chat's fine. It's just the merged chat. I thought I got banned from my own chat, which has happened before. But
why would you do that?
It was just the software. So yeah, we're on Twitch only chat, but most of the people are playing on Twitch anyway, so it's not a problem.
Alrighty, Andrew, the statement you'll be responding to one more time is minimized on my screen. Decks that are exciting for spectators are less exciting for players, and vice versa. Your time starts in 3, 2, 1, go.
I think that decks that are exciting for spectators are all kind of exciting for players, and you have to take them with a pinch of salt when you are the person on the other side of the table. There's a little bit where sometimes you see the, like, oh yo, they're doing their thing, and I think it's there's caveats. If you have the unsearchable one-of and it hits you, suddenly it's a lot less fun for the player on the other side of the table. But for everyone else, it's pretty cool, especially if the deck is on a miracle run and hasn't been consistently going through every tournament and finding the one-of. So it's very context-based, but I think in general, because every player is also kind of a spectator, if you can take yourself out of the I'm getting sacked, every single fun deck to watch is fun to play in the vicinity of as a player and even as an opponent if the deck's not consistent.
And that's Andrew's time. Lastly, the game goes in threes, and we've saved the best for last because he always shows up when it's time. KB, you ready to go, buddy?
Yeah.
Your time starts in 3, 2, 1, go.
I think that spectator-friendly decks are not the best for the player. Now, Terry brought up a good point about Beelzemon. If I was playing against Beelzemon and I was playing against, Quang, and he was one memory short and Mill's Death Slinger, I would probably pull my teeth out and I would go tell my friends how I got sacked. But for the live audience, it was like, oh my god, Baba Booey, that was sick. Same thing with decks that have true inevitability, like Royal Knights, for example. We can be there, chanting one more night. And then the Royal Knights player will just see the Leopardmon and the Omni, and it's just bro, he just had everything, I got sacked. Sometimes, I think people rooting against certain decks as well, like Numemon. I think it's a fun deck to root against because it's it's Numemon, and then you're watching Gallantmon and it's whoa, that was crazy. But if you're the Nume player, you're oh bro, Gallantmon, my worst matchup. So yeah.
Good job. That's your time. This is the part where you guys step in, chat. I need you to determine based on a prediction that's about to go up on the Twitch chat. I bet. I'm really good at this one. I'm really good at this game. They have assessed the statement: decks that are exciting for spectators are less exciting for players, and vice versa. Hoping that we can kind of shed some light on this, because I think these guys put a little bow on this one. This is a toughie. I thought of this one when I was sitting there watching the Raid and Trade stream this afternoon, where if you're watching this live on YouTube, because the video is up on YouTube, I should say, not live, you're probably not watching it from the editing PC. That would be weird. But if you are seeing it, Andrew Marcio today finished, as of our recording, 10 hours of casting and 2 hours of podcasting. So competitive Digimon and the spectating act of it was kind of on everybody's tip of the tongue today. Some good decks, Beelzemon deep runs, some decks where we were we've not seen Mirage since round 1 where it lost to SatCon. It won the whole tournament. It does that. Kind of won one note deck. So some folks find things exciting, and taste is subjective. Yeah. There's no objective correct answer to most things. Some people can't get enough of a Deva Mirror. Some people would rather actually go paint a wall beige. So there's a lot in the sort of gray area here. But I would love to see which one you guys think out of these folks had told it. A lot of specific mentions of decks. I thought that's interesting. Like I said, sometimes the questions are specific and the answers aren't. And it seemed like we had individual options for talking about decks. Seems like that's the sort of thing that everyone kind of jumps to mind to.
The thing is as well, you can always kind of tell what color people play by their answer to that, or what their truth is to that, because everything's context based. Maybe there are Nume players on Henny Hager. All he did was resolve the thing and got half my board.
His deck counters me.
Well, it's a weird vibe because, for example, being a yellow player, people default to me going, "What do you mean? I like to calculate my moves, but what do you mean? Your security can bail you out." And I'm like, "Yes, but I know what's in it, so now I can hopefully plan around it." Purple, on the other hand, big mill, just see what I get. Draw one trash one, mill 3. If I hit it, I hit it.
Yeah, I mean, shout out to the Digital Gate Studios one. Basil hates purple, bro. That guy immediately you mentioned purple, he's mad.
Hey, not every color can be Bandai's chosen, and that's something we've talked about on previous episodes.
Shout out to Evil Marcio.
Speaking of, have we got information on whether Marcio cosplayed Evil Marcio today on the show, or did we have somebody else at the chat?
No, he's actually, Marcio is reformed. He has a whopping 0% of the votes.
Your Honor, he's dead ass.
He is dead ass.
I have never once lied in my life.
Me though, 12% of the vote. Someone thinks that I was back off the goop once again. Probably correct. But 88% of the people think that
on Terry,
our judge would lie to you about Digimon being, I don't know, fun or something. I forgot the question.
It was, if spectator decks are as fun as they are to play, it doesn't matter. We're at the last round of the game.
For players.
Hey Terry, were you lying, guy?
I can wholeheartedly say that I was indeed lying.
What the heck, man? That's messed up.
Liar.
So, I'm trying to figure out my actual point on it. I thought of it weirdly again because of still playing a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh! It's like Snake Eye, objectively, when I played it, is really fun to play. But after typically my thing is decks that are fun to play that are fun for someone to play are also typically meta decks because they're winning with it, and it's fun because it's good and they're winning, right? Eventually, you get to the point where it's like, oh, wow. Oh, it's just another mirror match again. Or I get to watch you do something. Again, resolving the Mirage cards, moving them around for the player, doing a shout out to Sheeny Carey, the full Thomas flip back up to his hand for the burst Evo. Sick. It feels so smooth. Me sitting there watching it going, please, God, please, just let this dog die.
I can elaborate on this. My roommate is the UK's best Alphamon player. And so every time we playtest, when it's his turn, I open Twitter. Because I know he's not going to cheat because we're testing. But I'm just not about watching Doru draw one, gain one, evolve into Dorugamon effect, Dex Dorugamon, pitch one, gain one, but retaliation blocker, evolve into Dorugamon, reveal top 3. Oh my god, both of my Oryukens. Yeah, I guess I'll load one.
You see though, when Alphamon was absolutely best deck in format, hated it. Harry at the 3v3 watching him resolve those cards. Let's go! This is the best thing I've seen in my entire life.
I think
but that's contextual, Terry. Yeah. Was Harry not playing against Machine Dramon?
True.
Also, yes.
Or Hunters, perhaps, in the grand final?
Alright, okay. Yes, yeah. But it's a fun fact. I think I would hate playing against Machine Dramon, but I think that some part of me will feel like I would enjoy playing it.
Oh, sorry, pardon me, because my guy Chaos Uchi hit me with that's just an actual comment in our Twitch chat and not a statement I write to start arguments, but you've written bans make old decks cool,
and nobody is allowed to respond to it because
if you say anything, that's going in the folder. Nobody talk about it, pretend you didn't see what Usman wrote, and I am saving that one for later. Very cool.
Getting cooked live on the show.
We're gonna invite Brad. No, we invite Calum. We invite Calum on the show.
Holy shit, that's so funny. Yes, please.
So for those of you that don't know, we have this friend, Callum Flanagan, the Mafa GCSE.
Callum Flanagan. He plays a lot of Street Fighter.
He's gonna kill you.
He's he really loves Tekken
fighters. He hates Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, he hates NetherRealm.
Okay, let's. So Calum, he loves fighting games, and he's a professional fighting game player, and he plays Digimon on and off. And Calum, he got into Digimon because purple breaks the game, and it's the closest thing to Yu-Gi-Oh. But Calum has this sort of
obsession.
Curse.
He's obsessed.
No, it's like a curse at this point, where whenever Calum wants to play something, that deck will get banned. So Calum, I have never seen a man so excited to play Lilith Loop. And I'm talking BT7 Lilith Loop. You know what happened before those cards came out? We got Eismon restricted, and we got Mega Digimon Fusion banned, and Calum bailed out. And then Calum came back.
For a funny loop.
And then Calling got banned, and then he left. And then Calum came back and he was playing Belphamon. And then the scatter mode got banned and he left. And there's probably a timeline where Calum would have played Anubis, but it got banned before he got a chance to play.
Yeah, we showed him Anubis. He was in the building. I was like, yo, look at these cards and look. You see how this is non-once percent? It's like, yo, that looks sick. And then it's like,
it got hit.
So yeah. Do bans make old decks cool? Kind of.
Shut up. You're not allowed to talk about this. It's in the folder. It's in the folder. I'm not even kidding.
Oh, right.
I just put it in the folder. You can't talk about it.
Okay.
He just needs sleep. It's fine. Marshall.
Hey, listen.
He just has to open his statement with kinda in 3 weeks.
I'm the thought police, and you're not allowed to talk about this yet.
He's coming back for 7 DLs. Yeah, surely they can't ban.
No, he's coming back for Mass Day.
They're not hitting 7 Demon Lords. If they hit 7 Demon Lords, he wants to play. We have talked about that a little bit.
Yes, he wants to play Mass Day, but
and they'll hit Patamon.
You know how he's going to afford? You know how he's going to afford Mass Day by playing 7 Demon Lords.
Yeah, you're so right.
Anyway, it'll be the choice restrict. He's going to show up and like, all right, so I get a 20% chance to win the game, and they're like, no, they patched that out.
Thank you very much for your time, as always, here on Memory Gauge the Room. Great work, boys. I love making you all argue for fake internet points and to entertain the Twitch chat here over on KnTElixar, where you should watch us next time we're live. I think considering that we were trying to expedite this one a little bit, and we pretty much hit it on the dot 2 hours, I would like to make a special exception here before we get to our wrap up. If you aren't aware, this is Andrew's personal Twitch channel. It's twitch.tv/KnTElixar. But you should go ahead and follow him. He's also the same handle on, well, it's actually, if you're on Twitch, it's down here somewhere. And you should follow Marcio. It's at KBeats. These guys just busted their ass making commentary debuts for 10 hours. And put some real skin in the game, even engaging with having to be really cool about being on somebody else's Twitch channel and not saying the things they wanted to say. And that's fine. Sometimes we all got to be bigger men about it. If people get themselves temporarily banned after the funniest goddamn part of the day. But yeah, hey, I mean, what's a little temporary ban between Bandai and their world champion?
If it wasn't for the fact that I was representing Raid and Trade and I want to do more commentary, I would have said some things about security control. God damn.
It was our first match, and when he flipped the egg, I'm like, oh, yellow vaccine, and he played the purple curry, and because we played so much with John, I was like, maybe it's based. And then the second card came down.
It was also very funny that somebody was like, Frozen got banned, and Andrew was like, oh god, yeah, started clapping and shit.
Yeah, like,
and then he shows up later on, and Andrew's like, yeah.
How's it going, Frozen?
I thought it was so funny. Now that we're here on, now that we're on our part of the internet, bro was like, it's my list. That's the deck I play. It's like, shut up.
Wow, both of my decks, and it's like,
stop
shut up.
Fucking yapping. You're such a weirdo. Like, why aren't you playing? Stop getting banned and being...
Yeah, there's a reason why you're watching and you weren't playing.
It's just so weird. Just be normal. What's wrong with you?
Anyway.